Hi everybody. Today we're going to be looking at a Nissan Marine 6-horse boat motor. Um, I haven't made a lot of YouTube videos, but I thought maybe this would be a good shot to get back into it. I don't really have a very great camera. I just have the one that I bought for my girlfriend a couple years ago that she's never used. So I figured I'd take it out of the package and give her a spin. Anyway, so my buddy bought this motor, and of course, you know, it pull started just fine when they went and checked on it. They started it themselves, ran great, and we brought it back and put it in my shop for a couple months. Then, of course, lo and behold, the day that I go out to use it, before we go on a trip, luckily, I just wanted to check and make sure it worked. You know, we spent 2 hours in a little local river pulling on a boat motor and not really getting anywhere. So, that's not a lot of fun. So hopefully today, because I wasn't able to find a lot of videos that really showed much about this model of motor or what problems we were kind of having, a lack of compression and a lack of answers really when we called people, and every boat shop's basically full. So I think since I've already had this apart and I figured out what's wrong with it, I think that maybe I can get it torn down in front of you guys, talk about it a little bit, and get it thrown back together with some new gaskets, and hopefully then it runs fine. So I'll hopefully have a decent video for you guys once this is all over. Alright, well, let's get started. Okay, before we get started tearing things apart, I just wanted to show you guys everything that was sent to me by Nelson Marine in Newberg, Oregon. Hopefully you can see all these part numbers. Every time you tear an engine apart, you need new seals and gaskets, because you can see if I run this one right now, it runs really rough because it's pulling air from all over the place and leaking oil. So you always need new stuff when you put things back together. Right here you can see I got my notes. If you don't have a manufacturer's manual that has all the information, when you take the head apart, you're definitely going to want to get your feeler gauges out and write down what all your tolerances are, because you might not be able to find that information. So something to think about. Okay, so first thing you want to do is you're going to have to get your tank off. Mine still has some fuel in it, so we're going to try to somehow get that off of there without screwing that up too much. Using a 10mm to get those off. If I recall, the tank kind of pops out of a little hole in there. Yep. Get your pull start out of the way. And there's a little nub right there on the bottom where that kind of sits in there. There is a gasket in there too that kind of keeps it in place. A little rubber seal. Anyway, that's pulled off. Now you can come up here on the other side, run back and get yourself a pair of needle nose pliers and pull off this fuel line, and then put the tank in a position somewhere so it doesn't leak fuel all over the place. Unless you got it empty, and you know, in that case you're better prepared than I am. Okay, so I got that line out of there. Get the tank out. I think I saw anything hit the ground, so... Oh, yep, that's right. I did see something. You got these little metal spacers in there, and so you got to make sure not to lose them too. Fuel line to stay in place so it stops leaking fuel everywhere, I'll be happy. Alright. So I gotta look down in there a little ways, find that piece of metal that I lost. Alright, well, unfortunately, within about a minute I've already lost 2 parts. I don't know if you guys heard that, but when I pulled the fuel line off, the Corbin clamp that holds it on just went shooting off into the nowhere, which I looked for that, I can't find it. And then when I pulled the fuel tank off, that little metal spacer I showed you, I lost one of them. I can't seem to find that anywhere. Let's keep looking around. Of course, I grabbed a magnet to try and shove down there and grab it, but I realized that all these are made out of some alloy that's not magnetic, so that's about par for the course. I don't know where it is. Try not to do what I did. Just don't do what I did. Things will be easier for you. Oh wait, there it is. There it is, down in there. Okay, there we go. We just found 50% of our lost parts. Oh, there it is. All right. Yeah, don't lose that. Okay, put this someplace safe. Usually you want to take all your parts and kind of have a nice cleared out area to set them down so you really see what you got. I'm not really doing that right now, but so we got that off there, and the next thing that we're going to want to do is probably take off this other. That's right. I think I'm going to take the carb off next. Which all you need for that is this. Okay. Pull that apart. It's a good thing to take a lot of videos, photos, so that way you know where everything goes. This breather runs around to your case on the other side. Just pull that off out of the way. This one vacuum tube in here, it's in the way. This side, a longer screwdriver. It's always nice to have all your tools good and organized too, so you know where they are, and you just have to go for them and grab them, and they're right there. I didn't do that. I don't know why I didn't think I needed a longer screwdriver. I'm going to have to go grab one. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I got my screwdriver, get in there, get these loosened up. Loosen that. Loosen that. Just kind of comes apart real pretty easy. Got your throttle right here. Take that, pull that out. There you go. Also take your intake right there, air intake. There. That one was there. That's the thing I had go shooting off into the nowhere earlier. Luckily, I do quite a bit of work on small Honda motors, so I should probably be able to find one of those pretty easily. It doesn't want to come off of there. Rotate this, get that off of that little metal guy right there, and you can set that off to the side, clean it if you want before you put it back together. Okay. Don't lose your little spacer. That goes in here, or right on there, I believe. Let me see here again. That spacer. Yeah. Actually, I can't remember where the spacer goes. I'm just going to look at this video again later and see where it fell off from. Another thing, so I got these two lines. I don't want to mix those up, so I'm going to get something to mark them with. Okay, so in that last video, I accidentally ran out of batteries. So, of course, I had to start the process of putting it all back together. And so now I'm putting everything back together again so I can show you guys how to take it apart. Just a little behind the scenes stuff right there. Anyway, these hoses go here. What I was going to show you in there is I put a little mark on there so that way you know when you put stuff back that you're going to the right spot. I took the fuel line off of here, obviously. This is your throttle. It should go through here before you hook it up. So yeah, this is how you take it apart. Amazing. Now looking at it, this back screw is kind of hard to get to. And especially when you're putting them back together, you don't want to cross thread anything on here because this is all made out of not steel. And it's way easy to cross thread something or over thread, tear your threads out. So for this, you might want to just take your recoil start off first, just in case you want to. Take my screw out first so I don't lose that. Take this plate over here, air intake. Turn that way, that's your throttle. Tilt. So you can get this metal piece off. I set in there, and I showed you very badly when I was trying to on the other video, because this is what it looked like on the other video. Just so you guys know. So this is, I'm getting better. So if you want to clean this carburetor, it's really simple. You just take these two screws apart. The bowl will pop off. You just need a very small flathead screwdriver to get your jet out. Just spray it all out with brake cleaner. Get everything, spray through every port, and carefully put it all back together. Don't over tighten these little guys. They don't take a lot to stay tight. Alright, well, there we go. Keep all these parts in one place. Alright, so that being said, I think we'll take the recoil off now. Now whenever you're using an impact on one of these, make sure you have it set to the lightest setting. That's important too. I'm going to take this apart last time. Come all the way down here to the bottom. Or oh, okay. So there's a little clip down. Okay. So, take this apart. Definitely take note of what order everything goes. If any of you guys didn't catch that, I bailed on the bottom clip. That's not going to work. So, you got a screw, and then you got a lock washer, a flat washer, a spacer, and this little spring. Okay, it's a little doohickey setup. And then it all just kind of comes apart there. Let's see here. That's off. Recoil just pops right off. Set that over there. Put all your screws in the holes they went back in, so that way it makes it a lot easier later. Okay, so now I think what we're going to do is we're going to drain the oil before we go any further, so that way things don't get too messy. Okay, so you can see the underside of the engine right now. You got these 6 mounting bolts. Those we're going to have to take out to pull the engine out of the actual lower unit. And we have a little oil screw right around here that we're just going to open that and drain the oil out. Trying to keep it all in the little pan I got down there. If you couldn't see that very well, that's the underside. There's the drain plug. So what's left to do up here on the top end, we got to get this fuel line off here. We need to get everything off of the engine basically that keeps it from being able to just get pulled out. So we're going to take this off. This is actually your throttle. I think I called the choke the throttle earlier, so you know that's your throttle plate. Underneath it is your thermostat, so we just undo these 2 bolts here and pull that off. We come around, get these wires. These have already been marked. I've already got those marked so that I can take those off, put them right back in the same place. And let's see, the camera sitting there. Alright. Okay, pull that off. There's your thermostat. Pull that off to the side. Also got a little keeper right here. You can just bend that. Just hang that stuff down. Just this little guy. Don't want to lose that. Undo this little bolt here. In this case, you can just put the bolt back in this position. Okay, so what else we got here? Undo the wires on the back, which I showed you guys those earlier. And should be already marked. Back on this other side that you can't see right now, there's just a little keeper for your spark plug wire. That is almost everything. We got one more wire down here. Right there. Thought it could. Yeah, there we go. Kind of a waterproof connection, I'm guessing. go. So that's everything that I can see around there that we have to get attached. Now we should be able to go back underneath, undo the bolts at the bottom, pull the whole engine out of the case, or out of the lower unit. I think it's this last one to get undone right here. Okay. Let's see. That's all of those taken out. Let's see if the engine moves at all. Yep. That's shaking itself free. Alright. Let's see if we can get this out of here now. There we go. Oh, we got one ground wire left. I'm going to do that real quick. Now I'll move this to the table. Okay, now that we got it out on the table, you can see it didn't take a lot to get it out of there. But the important stuff is we need to get, this gasket changed, this one here, that one on the head, this one on the water cooling system. That's really where all my problems kind of lie. We'll get a gasket scraper. I'm going to give you a little shot there of what it looks like on the inside. See down your drive shaft and everything. Alright, so I think first I'll just get the spark plug out, 5/8. Take the, I guess you call it the oil pan off. Pull those three out. Okay, so what else we got left here? soft mallet to kind of bust these apart. Come on. There we go. Okay. And then you can see inside there. And really everything in there seems alright. You look through the cylinder walls once I get the head off and everything, and all the parts in there looked fine. That's why I really didn't think that it could possibly be really damaged, everything looking so good. So what the problem we ended up having was inside here on this, the cam, which I can't pull out yet because I still got tension on my valves. So once I get that off, then we can pull this out and I'll show you the decompression device that's inside of it and what wasn't working. Alright? Okay, so pretty well focused on the head here. Open up the valve cover. Oop. Propped up there so it's easy to see. Okay, valve cover off. Got a new gasket for it, so chuck that. So like I said, if you're ever taking this apart yourself, you should probably first go in here with some feeler gauges and get some measurements off of here before you screw it up and you don't know if you can actually find what you need. So yeah, do that before you start loosening these guys up and taking all this apart. So we got a 13 and a 10 to be able to break these apart. In there like that. Break that backer nut free. Go ahead and just spin those off of there. Better. And you can spin these off. These are your actual tensioning bolts. Tensioning nuts, I'm sorry. Pull your push rod out. And I still see the mark on mine, so I know which one goes where. Some people are real sticklers about that, and it's probably good to be better on the side of safe than sorry. So now we have no tension over here. Shouldn't anyway. That means this all spins freely. You can see that. Well, you got your timing marks right here. You can see that one on the cam. You can't see this one right now because there's a little washer. There's a washer in the way, but there is a mark right there on that tooth, so you know exactly where to put it again. So I can go like this, rock this out of here. Actually, rotate that down like that so those don't fall out. Okay, so I remembered you actually need take the fuel pump off first because it has the plunger in there, and the plunger will hold your cam in place. See, got that plunger right there. Okay, and boom, comes right out. There you go. So, what our issue was, is this is your decompression device. And right now, because of the way that I have it pinned, I'm trying to see if I can get it to move. But yeah, so this spring is supposed to be on the other side. And what happens is, when you pull on it, and it hasn't been spinning, the centrifugal force isn't there, so it holds this way, and once the engine starts going, then it holds itself back. Meanwhile, it has this little lever, and that pushes on your exhaust, your exhaust valve. So that way it kind of pins it open. You can see that slides into place there. And what's happening is that was staying in that position. And so by taking the spring and running it around the other way, it just holds it like this. And that's, as soon as I did that and put the engine back together, I was able to get it to fire. And so that's why I had to take it all the way back apart again, though. It's because now I need to install all those gaskets and things that my buddy bought. So I think we'll start on that now. I'm taking this gasket apart. You can see there's this plastic nub there. You got to make sure that that goes back in the correct spot. Okay, so to get the head off, we got these two bolts right here. We got these two right here. I'm not going to bother taking the valves out because I don't need to. There. Just a piece of dirt fell off. So there you can see up top, doesn't look that bad. I mean, can't really see anything wrong in that valve. Everything looks like it's seating okay. Move them by hand. They just don't look bad. Move through here, get ourselves lined up a little better, and you hopefully can see piston moving, and it's fine. Walls inside look good, no scalding, everything just feels really smooth. Okay, so get those bolts just put back in loose. So I think I said it earlier, if you want to use one of these impacts, you just put it on the lowest setting you can. Just get them in there hand tight. Don't even snug them up. Just use it to lead it in there. Go in a couple threads by hand. Okay, so here's where we're at. Basically, I've shown you guys how to tear the whole thing apart, how to get it out of the actual lower unit, how to tear the head apart, how to tear the crankcase apart, showing you what my problem was. And that's about as far as I can go at this point, actually, without torque specs. My crack research team was supposed to get that to me, but it hasn't happened. So I'm going to close this one up the way it is, the video that is. I'm going to leave the engine out, get it all dusty like you're supposed to, and hopefully get those numbers that I need, and then I'll make another video showing you guys putting it all back together. And then hopefully one of it running. You know, that'd be cool. It's always good when you take all this time to tear something apart, spend money, put it all back together, and it actually works. But who knows? Might not happen. In that case, the video's not going to come out. So, alright, talk to you guys later.